So, my name is Ashley, and for my topic I chose swear words. Why swear words? Well, first of all, I guess I'm a family social science major, and oftentimes swear words are a very hot family topic, especially when parents are trying to raise their children, and usually the belief that's commonly held is that swear words are bad for a 6-year-old to be saying. That, or at least sometimes, depending on the parent, until you're a certain age, or never, actually. So it is a very hot topic, and oftentimes people wonder, oh, well, swear words make you more violent, or swear words do this, or they make you sound more mature, or they just, represent some problem in the family. So there are so many different controversies with swear words. My personal experience made me want to study swear words a little bit, just because I grew up knowing that basically swear words were not a thing that you should ever say, and my parents still believe that, even though actually as my siblings have all gotten older, because I'm the oldest of 5, my parents have actually broken down a little bit, and they actually will say, shit or something like that every once in a while, because they're just kind of decided, it's not that big of a deal anymore. So I actually wanted to know, why is that possibly not that big of a deal, and is it really that big of a deal in society? So basically, that's why I wanted to study it. My hypothesis and my research question. So I wanted to know, are swear words really that bad? Because I hear at least so many of my peers say, nah, they're not really that bad. And sometimes even adults are like, maybe not. And other adults are like, no, you don't say a swear word ever. So then my hypothesis was that in this day and age, people don't consider swear words to be as much of a taboo as they have in previous decades, or in the past necessarily. So, my rhetorical situation. Basically, in my rhetorical situation, I made myself as head of a research team for an organization called Family Matters. So in this rhetorical situation, my program director wanted me and my research team to come up with a topic for our summer seminar. And so I had to come up with a topic with my research team, and then I went over that with her, and then we went through the research process, and we discussed what the topic should be about and how that could be related in a family setting possibly. So the presentation is scheduled for June. My academic search premier searches and my psych info searches were part of my methodology. I used about 6 sources from both places combined. A lot of the research was from 2007, which is actually almost as recent as it gets. There was one source from 2013, which was actually just in preview, so it wasn't even fully published yet, and it was actually a dissertation. I used mostly journals. I did use 1 or 2 articles that were more opinion ed, that were from newspapers or from educational sources. And I used 1 empirical survey because I actually had this as a research topic and not a recommendation report. So I actually used SurveyMonkey, which is very helpful. My results. So to distribute my survey, I guess I should have mentioned, I used Facebook. It was a convenient sample. I would have preferred to have used more of a stratified sample or something like that to get better results, just because then I would have had a better demographic. I would have had more results from different ethnicities and people of different religions and different backgrounds, and even maybe different states. That would actually have been really cool. But I unfortunately did not have the time. So basically I just chose Facebook, and I hoped for the best, and I actually got 71 results, which is fabulous. So that's one of my graphs from one of my questions that was multiple choice. Basically, the question was, I guess, what's your opinion on swear words, and should swear words be used? Are they good, bad, don't care? Is it a combination of good and bad, or swear words and ethics have nothing to do with each other? And obviously you can see the results. It goes up to 50%, and most people said that they didn't care, which I found very interesting. Because in a later question, actually, I asked, do you agree with your parents in whatever that they said about what swear words were? And I asked them a previous question before that too that said, well, what did your parents think about swear words, and what was your punishment? A lot of people actually were punished for swear words. Most people actually had a spanking or were grounded or had soap in their mouths. And actually, a lot of parents still cared about their kids swearing, and so they actually said, I don't swear around my parents, or I don't swear around this demographic, or I feel really bad when I swear. Some people said, I don't care, but they were actually the lower percent. And interestingly enough, when I asked them if they would agree with their parents, most people, almost 50%, said yes, which I found really fascinating. I did not expect that at all. So overall, I found that most swear words are not considered as good. Most people actually will consider them to be like a stress reliever, and so they use them in that way. And some people just say, oh, they actually really don't have that much effect, but they actually would not use them necessarily as liberally as they'd like everybody to believe. So I was, very surprised that it was that conservative, basically. Discussion. Obviously, I had limitations in my sampling size. I had limitations with the survey that I used because it only went up to 10 questions, and I would have loved to have asked some more, and possibly just with more various types of things. I'd love to go in more depth, and I wish that there was more research actually on this topic, since there's just not as much research from 2007 on. Actually, there was one particular author that I used 3 times. His name is Timothy B.J., and actually he just used so many different topics in swear word study, and it was really fascinating, and I wish that he had done more in later years because it would have been really cool. I'd love to know actually just like what effects it has on people. So if it does have an effect on how you're perceived, because some people say, oh, well, swear words make you more honest, and other people say, well, actually swear words just make you look worse, and actually it makes it so that you have less self-control. So I'd love to actually go into that a little bit more. And so basically I would recommend future research in my report, and I would love to learn more and be given a grant to learn more. So, and there's my bibliography. Any questions at all? Kyla.
This is Kyla. What was the age range of people that you surveyed?
That's a really good question. I actually just went by response on Facebook, and it didn't actually record their ages. I actually probably should have recorded their ages, but I know based on my friend group, it's mostly from ages, like 15 to, late middle age, so like their 60s or 70s. So it's within that age range. All right. Thanks, everybody.